Cougars for you. It's Lair Butte, the second baseman, leading off, followed by Kennedy Thomas. She's the center fielder. Bree Cantu is at first base. And the first offering from Raylan Chafin, who has been a busybody in this tournament. This is the third consecutive game in which Chafin has pitched.
Yeah, we're going to see a curve at 66, 67. She's going to throw a drop, a rise, a screw, and she'll throw her change at 55. And you're right, she's gotten 3 games. She came in and saved, and she started, So a little bit of a workhorse here this weekend.
So following Butte and Thomas and Cantu, it's Michaela Nita, the left fielder. Taria Coleman is catching. Shelby Smith is the DP. Jasmine Rollin is at third base. Mandy Essman gets the start at shortstop. And Paige Holsey is in right field. This is lifted the other way. Allie Newland is out there in left field, and she's got it, and there's out number 1.
Cougars kind of showed a propensity to swing at the rise ball out of the zone, and that's exactly how Chafin started off this game on her very first pitch.
These Cougars bring a lot of lofty averages to this game. In fact, there's only one non-300 hitter in the lineup. Here's Kennedy Thomas, swing and a miss on the first one.
It's a remade Houston Cougar team completely on the field. The coaching staff except for Kristen Vesley. Of course, she's been there for 8 years now. The 2 assistants are brand new.
There are 5 400 hitters in the lineup for Houston, including the first 3, Butte, Thomas, and Cantu. Then later on, you've got Smith at 417, and Rollin is hitting 405.
They did score 3 runs on the Tigers last night, but the score ended up 10-3.
Essman is the only Cougar not to be hitting 300 or better. So it ranges from 304 from Holsey at the bottom of the order to 462 for the young lady in the batting box right now, Thomas.
Some gaudy numbers.
What a crowd on hand. The berm is nearly full. There's hardly any open space out there. Everybody enjoying the sunshine and a gentle wind blowing out toward left center field. Not a cloud in the sky right now. There's a good look at people really enjoying their softball here in Baton Rouge.
I was shocked when I walked up to the park today and turned around and saw the people on the berm.
The 1-2 pitch popped up left side. No play for anybody. LSU's baseball team already has finished its game. It was a 2-hour game, a 5-2 win over Northern Illinois. This is whacked foul into the net on the left side.
Raylan Chafin is filling up the strike zone. Had her fooled on that changeup, but she just got a little piece of that to hang tough. So the at-bat continues.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out on a fly ball to left. Chafin rocks and delivers. That's in on the hands, another pop-up, and that one's into the net behind the plate. That might have been ball 2.
Might have hit her, too, if she wouldn't have swung. A little bit of self-defense.
LSU opens the game with 11 victories to start the season and no setbacks. And winning in a variety of ways this year already.
Well, what's been the most impressive thing is runners in scoring position, and the Tigers have come through. They haven't left a lot of people on base, and that's been their bugaboo the last couple of years.
The 2-2 pitch is stroked into right field, and the leading hitter for the Cougars produces another base hit for Kennedy Thomas. So that average will move up from 462 after that base hit. And here is Bree Cantu.
Thomas did not have a hit last night, so He's already got a better start to do today.
Luke Holman was the winning pitcher for LSU's baseball team. It was a 5-2 victory over Northern Illinois. Holman went 7 innings. He only allowed 2 hits. He struck out 8. He didn't walk a batter. That's a dominating performance by Luke Holman.
Friday night start is still kind of up for grabs, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mac Bingham had a 3-run home run in the 4th inning to power LSU to that 5-2 victory. The Tigers carried a 5-0 lead into the 9th inning, but surrendered a couple, but won it 5-2. Here's Bree Cantu. She's the first baseman, swinging and slicing it foul back into the net. Cantu was hitless in 4 at-bats last night against both Chafin and Berzon.
Cantu is a Houston native. She's a transfer from University of Texas.
Chafin pitched 4 innings as the starter last night. And there's one that burns the outside edge for a call, 3rd strike.
And a quick snap throw.
Chafin struck out 6 in 4 innings of work last night, most of those coming early. She walked 2, she allowed 4 hits and 3 runs, and that is a beautiful pitch. You can live there and be very profitable.
Good looking curveball there, and she has a good looking curveball.
So Thomas in a sprinter's position from first base, not going anywhere, and there's a strike to Michaela Nita, N-I-T-T-A. LSU looking to find a solid performer behind Sydney Berzon. Berzon will be the ace of the staff, or at least is at this point. But Chafin certainly making a move, perhaps up on the depth chart in the pitching corps.
And then we really haven't seen Kelly Lynch. We heard so much about her, but she's yet to make her appearance this weekend.
The 1-1. That's gathered by Macy Bergeron.
And I think a lot of people think that Lynch will be that number 2 along with Chafin.
And the pitch, runner moving, that's whacked foul. It's Newland, it's Briggs, it's Ruderty in the outfield for the Tigers from left to right. It's Coffey and Pleasance on the left side of the diamond. Daniel and Gutierrez are on the right side. Bergeron is catching, and Chafin is pitching for LSU. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We'll take a gaze at Thomas to see if she's moving again. She is not. And we go to 3-2. Now Thomas will have the luxury of moving on the release. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Thomas was a 1-out base runner. There are 2 outs now. She still remains at first. The pitch to Nita. Hit sharply, gobbled up by Coffey, and the strong throw gets it done from corner to corner. That ball was smoked right at the feet of Coffey. She was able to pick it up and turn it into an out. And we move on. Houston leads a base runner. After 1/2 inning, Houston nothing. LSU coming to the plate on a beautiful day in Baton Rouge. Hannah Carson is the DP. Macy Bergeron is catching. And Sierra Daniel, the youngster at second base, gets her 2nd consecutive start.
Coffey has raised her batting average in this tournament. Waiters is our pitcher. She'll throw a drop, a curve, a screw, a rise, and a change. Fastest pitch is 61. The change is at 46. You see that screwball right there for a strike.
Tamaya Waiters is 1-1 on the year with a 4.71 ERA. This is her 9th start, but she hasn't pitched very many innings in any of them. She takes the comebacker and turns it into an out. Coffey is retired pitcher to first. So in 16 1/3 innings, and that's over the course of 8 starts, she has given up 16 hits, She has walked 15. That's been the big problem. She has struck out 11. The opposition is hitting .250 against her.
And Lynn, we talked about a rebuild team. Every arm on the Houston Cougar staff is brand new. No one returns from last year from the circle.
That might be the only team in the country with that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've never said that out loud about any team. Or my own team.
Mm-hmm. But the flexibility in manipulating the roster is greater than it's ever been. Not necessarily to the good of the game.
Totally agree. But you're right, transfer portal, and the Cougars have really utilized that this year.
LSU has 2 players with hitting streaks in the lineup. Coffey with a 5-game surge, and Rudity has hit safely in 6 consecutive games. 2 strikes on Sierra Briggs. She is a Miss Consistency with a capital C.
In all aspects of the game.
She has started more than 200 consecutive games. And Taylor Pleasance isn't far behind her.
Beth Serena was quoted as saying before the season began, Briggs had already had over 600 at-bats for the Tigers.
She's fooled on that pitch, a weak swing, and sends a roller back to the circle. So for the second time, Waiters is waiting and turns that ground ball into an out. 2 gone for Pleasance.
Yep, fooled on that changeup, and you're right, she's helped herself out. She's gotten 2 ground balls and 2 outs.
Pleasance has 6 extra base hits among her 13 safeties. 3 homers, 2 doubles, and a triple, batting .433.
And the scouting report is the changeup is her best pitch.
Pleasance leads LSU and is among the SEC leaders with 22 driven in this, the 12th game. So she's averaged 2 RBI a game.
Having a fantastic start to her senior year.
The 1-0 pitch is elevated.
Tigers sporting the old Billy Cannon helmet look. Billy Cannon era.
That would be the late 50s. That's a good pitch to Pleasance.
I'm wondering how many of those players in that dugout would even know who Billy Cannon was.
0.
Okay, well, we're getting close to the pitch clock count. Just through the last pitch with 1 second left.
Pleasance takes a rip and fouls it off to the left side. That levels the count, 2-2. 2 outs, no score, bottom of the first inning. Under a lot of sunshine here. LSU will play Austin Peay for the first time in this tournament in the nightcap this evening. We'll have that for you here on the SEC ESPN network.
Come out and work on your tan, because I know everybody's got some pretty white legs right now.
That 2-2 pitch rolls in, and we go to 3-2 on Pleasance with Raylene Gutierrez on deck.
There's that changeup, and it is a dandy. Nice
and that's
play.
Caught next to the net by Coleman, the catcher. A really good off-speed pitch, had Pleasance in front. She popped it back, and Coleman was able to locate it and make her phone somewhere, maybe in an airport lobby, maybe at a sports bar, wherever you may be enjoying LSU and Houston softball. We thank you for joining us. And call a buddy and tell a friend that the game's on.
Or come out to the park and enjoy some sunshine. Coleman did not have a hit last night against the Tigers.
Chafin against Houston last night pitched the first 4 innings. That's high and tight. She pitched well until she finally was reached in the fourth, but only gave up 4 hits. Walked a couple, struck out 6, did Chafin. And then Sydney Berzon threw 3 shutout innings, allowing 2 base hits and striking out 3 with no walks.
You just see that so much more now that pitchers can't finish games. Just such good adjustments, so much video, good coaching.
And I would add to that, Yvette, the fact that starters are being used in relief much, much more than they've ever been.
True, and I'd like to add, the strike zone is a postage stamp.
So you think it needs to be expanded a bit, or at least the interpretation?
Well, we were so pitcher dominated that, everybody was striking out, wanted offense. Well, now we got offense.
Well, that was a ripper over the inside edge from Chafin, a very good pitch to take care of Coleman.
Now we got offense, but no score should be 12-10. My opinion. A lot of people might like 12-10.
That was a really nice pitch. But I think all of the scores you're referring to off the top of your mind are those scores we saw in the Clearwater Invitational in Florida. And everybody scored in the double digits in that tournament. It was an aberration, I think.
Yeah, but I'll have to check the scores out and see if that's the problem, too, out in California. Because, it's the smaller fences.
Right.
I don't know what ball they're using. They're claiming that the ball in Clearwater was lighter. It was something. I mean, Berzon came back with a 4-something ERA.
The 1-1 pitch burns the inside part of the plate.
But she's already dropped that this weekend.
We're in the top of the second inning. Raylan Chafin has thrown in 3 straight games, 2 as a starter, 1 in relief. That's off the mark a little bit. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases empty, and no score in the second inning. Houston and LSU. The 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3 on the outside edge, and Chafin is dealing.
That postage stamp has corners today. Good pitch by Chafin.
She has struck out 3 of the last 4 batters and scarring the corners. And here is Jasmine Rollin, the third baseman.
That's what that curveball's all about. Get it in the knees on the corner.
Rollin drove in a pair of runs yesterday against LSU. She was 2 for 3. Well, actually, let's see who this is. This is Rollin. They've got Shelby Smith up on the scoreboard. The 1-0. A little bit, well, they call it a strike on the knees. A late raise of the right arm. That's the technique that's taught in softball is different from baseball from an umpiring standpoint.
I was just about to say maybe it was a European stamp.
Swing and a miss. Softball umpires behind the plate are taught to be a little more deliberate, to have a count or 2. Now they'll verbalize ball or strike, but they are taught to have a count or 2 later than bringing up the right hand.
Seriously, why?
Don't know why, but it's a bit more deliberate.
Yeah, it is slow sometimes. Why would it be? Never mind.
Just protocol.
I just answered that in my head.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Chafin in command early. We are scoreless in the top of the second. Rollin gets a little piece of that, slivered it off to stay alive. She's been a good hitter.
Softball, the scorebook is, War and Peace. Baseball, it's a pamphlet of your poems.
Yeah, the 2-2. Swing and a miss. That off-speed pitch just kind of drifted away from the left-handed batter.
2 good changeups out there in the circle.
And 3 strikes from Houston. Gutierrez is off to a wonderful start offensively.
She's having a senior season to remember. There you go.
She lines the first pitch, and it's going to the wall. Gutierrez stretching it out to second base. She will make it standing. That is her 3rd double of the year, as she was first pitch hunting and first pitch collecting.
Ball must look like a beach ball to Gutierrez. You'll see here everything about her swing, her play is exceptional at the moment.
Gutierrez was 2 for 4 last night, so she's 3 for 5 against Houston pitching in the tournament. And here is Mackenzie Rudidy, who's working on the longest hitting, Allie Newland. Newland following Gutierrez, and Rudidy is going to bat third in this inning. Newland had 3 base hits in 4 attempts against Houston last night and an RBI, and that floater stayed high and away.
Both pitchers really relying on their changeups. And that one just kind of got stuck in her hand.
2-0 now to Allie Newland. Newland has been in left field exclusively this year, but she can also catch, and she rips this one. It's going to roll to the wall. Gutierrez scores easily, and Newland stops at second base. Back-to-back doubles by the Tigers, who take the lead as Allie Newland, on her 3rd double of the year, drives in a run.
Tigers are having fun offensively. These lefties can hit it to any section of the field. They're good oppo hitters, and they're good going with the pitch. And there's a bunch of them. It's a parade of lefties for the LSU Tigers in this lineup. Ooh, that's a good-looking changeup.
And it drops in for a strike on Mackenzie Rudidy. Rudidy possesses the longest current hitting streak for the Tigers at 6. The 0-1 pitch.
Back to back.
Floats for a strike again.
That's pretty cool when you can do it back to back.
There's a look at Newland. We update her numbers. She's hitting .583 with runners in scoring position after that double, which drove in a run, and that leads the team among the regular starters. This will be playable in foul ground as Jasmine Rollin, the third baseman, grabs the pop-up off the bat of Rudidy. So she leaves Newland at second base. There's 1 out now, and here is Hannah Carson.
She swung at a good pitcher's pitch that time. And I think so far that is the glaring difference to me in the season so far. The Tigers are swinging at good pitches.
Carson waits.
Meaning they're swinging at mistakes a lot of times.
Carson was the DP last night and was 1 for 2 against this Houston staff.
Of course, Carson's beginning here at LSU ended disastrously last year in her, first or second game. Blew out her ACL, merely turning second base on a base hit.
There's a strike. Back-to-back doubles by Gutierrez and Newland to open the inning have changed the scoreboard. LSU leading 1-0 in the second.
Tigers would like to put up crooked numbers here, though, with a runner in scoring position.
The 0-2 pitch grounded to the right side, snared by the second baseman, who makes a backhanded flip and gets the out at first. Butte with some acrobatic play at second base turns what looked like was going to be a base hit into an out at first.
I wasn't quite sure she was going to get there, but she got there that last step and then had enough strength to do that backhanded flip.
Well, it's one thing to get to the ball, which she did, and then look at that backhanded flip for the out at first. So 2 gone, and here is Bergeron with a runner at third. Newland scampering 60 feet with the ball headed to the right side. Ball 1 to the sophomore catcher, Macy Bergeron. Sierra Daniel is on deck. 2 outs, a run in on back-to-back doubles to open the inning by Gutierrez and Newland. Two and 0.
Frozen. Oh, he called it a ball.
That stayed upstairs.
Little high, I guess.
LSU in 10 innings defeated Boise State in the first game of the tournament 3-2. The Tigers went back to beat Boise State again 8-5, and then last night 10-3 against Houston. That's there for a strike. Now Houston beat Austin Peay 10-1, and then of course fell 10-3 to LSU, and also losing 9-1 to Boise State. So Houston is 1-2 after 3 games in the tournament. There's ball 4, a 5-pitch pass, and the inning continues for Sierra Daniel. Sierra Daniel looked very comfortable in the field and at the plate last night.
Everything she hit so far has been solid line drives, and she showed us some glove web jams also.
She was 2 for 4 at the plate with a run scored and a run driven in.
And everything she's hit has been hard.
Ball 1 from Tamaya Waiters. Waiters. There's a runner at third and a runner at first for the Tigers with 2 outs. Ball 2.
Looks like Bergeron is not running. Oh no, she's quite fleet of foot. Here comes the pitching coach for Houston. Just want to make sure. It should be beautiful with that clear sky.
6:17 is moonrise. That's everything you wanted to know about the weather.
Tell you, the people in Boise State that are watching might be a little jealous of the weather.
Well, Boise State, I'm sure, and Austin Peay for that matter, was quite happy to come here and find these playing conditions.
Austin Peay is in Tennessee, right?
Tennessee, Kentucky, take your pick.
Well, is it Kentucky?
I'm going to have to look to make sure.
I always thought it was Tennessee. The Governors. Randy's going to have to give us some clues on that as to why they're called the Governors.
Here's the 3-1 pitch to Sierra Daniel. That's that floater. It's upstairs, and the bases are loaded.
That's that strike 1, strike 2, strike 3 pitch.
So Houston trying to shut down the damage after 1 run.
We might be having a pitching change here.
1923 until he died in 1927. And Austin Peay State University was named in honor of him a couple of years later.
Makes sense.
Strike 1 to Danica Coffey, who was hitting .364 coming into this game. Coffey rolled back to the circle last time, and that's out of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. A base hit here would give LSU some cushion. That is barely off the plate. Shelby Smith is ready. The 2-1 pitch in flight. Popped up left side. It appears somebody's going to have a play. The shortstop, Essman, calls off the third baseman and grabs it at 1 o'clock Central Time. We'll have that game for you right here on the SEC ESPN Network. Meanwhile, we go to the third. Houston nothing. LSU picked up a run on back-to-back doubles in the second inning and leads it 1-0. With Yvette Gerard, I'm Lynn Rollins. It is Mandy Essman at the plate for the first time. The 1-strike pitch from Raylan Chapin. Swing and a miss. That one was working away from the left-handed swinger.
So that screwball continued to just move out.
Essman is hitting .235. She is the only non-300 hitter in the lineup.
Trying to work a couple of balls away. Didn't quite work.
Paige Holsey is on deck. Houston came into the tournament with only 1 loss on the year, but it has suffered a couple of setbacks this weekend. This will be a chance for Rudity in right field. She doesn't have to move much, and there's the first out.
Tomahawked that ball, but just didn't get all of it.
That's 6 in a row now retired by Chafin following the 1-out single by Thomas in the first inning. Nobody has reached after that. And in that streak, there have been 4 strikeouts. Holsey is batting for the first time. Strike 1.
There's that delay a little bit.
She's hitting .304 is Holsey. 8 driven in. 3 of her 7 hits have been doubles.
Guess that pitch was too low.
Lyndon Batiste is calling balls and strikes. Michael Thibodeau is working first base, and Janet Tidwell is at third. Holsey is a graduate student from Tomball, Texas. 1-0 Tigers on back-to-back doubles by Gutierrez and Newland in the second.
The left field side is really battling that sun at this time of the day. See the Houston coach trying to shade her eyes.
The 2-2 pitch is wide.
Yeah, that
and
wasn't
the count is full.
That wasn't close at all. You want to use a usable pitch.
Popped up left side. Taylor Pleasance is calling for it and makes the play. Pleasance was straddling the line as she called off Coffey and then made the play behind third.
Those long strides, she gets to that fly ball with like 3 strides.
Back to the top of the order for Lair Butte, L-A-I-R. A strike on the knees. Again, that very delayed call.
He will give corners out. Our postage stamp is kind of expanding a little bit. Like I said, it might be European today.
The 0-1 pitch. There's the off speed.
Boy, Both pitchers just have beauties for off-speed pitches.
Well, Chafin can set hers up with a pretty decent riser as well.
Right. She's got a little bit more spin. Well, she definitely has good spin, but she's got a little bit more giddy up to her faster balls.
The 0-2 looped into right field and caught on the run as Rudity got a good jump and came sprinting toward the infield to make the running grab. A 3-up.
And we've said this from the beginning. We have a fantastic, this has to be the biggest crowd yet for softball in this young season
I
here
think
at
so.
Tiger Park.
It's not capacity, but it's close.
It's getting close. But you know, what's capacity? The berm, I mean, how could you really know how many people could sit out there?
Well, you designed it. I figure you would have the answer to that.
No, that's, you know, why it's designed like that. You could
Oh, it's great.
You could just keep packing them in.
It is great. That grass is lush out there on the hillside. People bring their blankets and their lawn chairs and whatever else they can smuggle in.
Designed it so you could get your little kids out there and just let them play and
That's
roam.
right. Let them slide down the hill.
And let them burn some energy while
Gather
you're
them
watching
at the end of the game. The 0-2 pitch to Briggs. She ran up on it. It's a good thing for her that wasn't a strike. She was fooled by that pitch, but it was outside. 1-2 on Briggs, who rolled back to the circle last time. This is Shelby Smith, who came on in relief of the starter Tamaya Waiters last inning. 1-2 to Briggs. Chopped to the right side, and the play is made by Lair Butte. Butte over to Cantu. Here's Taylor Pleasance, who fouled out to the catcher last time. The outfield is deep and straight away.
For this weekend,
She rips a liner to center, and it carries all the way out to Kennedy Thomas.
one of those Adams. For this weekend, the Cougars hadn't been to Baton Rouge since 2018, the regional here.
Didn't LSU win a 1-0 game in that regional?
I believe you are correct, sir. Yes, you are.
Here's Gutierrez with 2 outs, and that's ball 1. Gutierrez, now a graduate student from Upland, California. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, the bases are empty. LSU picked up a run in the second on back-to-back doubles by Gutierrez and Newland. Raylene is 1 for 1 with a run scored. And she pulls this on the ground foul. She just looks so much more sure-handed in the batter's box than she did previously in her career.
Exuding confidence, having the best year of her tenure here at LSU, this in her senior year.
The pitch at 1-2.
Oh, his hand came up and then it went down. And I think it was a strike, and the Cougars are not happy.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Gutierrez batting .389 coming into the game. She's already had a double. This is playable. It appears in foul ground. The shortstop jogs over to get it. Mandy Essman makes the play. And a good inning for Smith. 1-2-3. Leading Houston.
A dog or two? You're going to spread rumors. Everybody's going to come here with their dogs.
Well, there is a designated dog day.
Well, yeah, but it's not today.
No, but there are a couple of small dogs in
Where?
the audience. Well, they're hiding. I've seen them between innings. I mean, they don't come out and make their presence known, you know? There's one down there on the right side. See that little dachshund? I'm sorry, it's a Chihuahua.
And how do you spell dachshund?
D-A-C-H-S-U-N-D, I
So
think.
forever.
I think.
I didn't know how that was dachshund.
Well, it could be D-O-C-S-O-N, right?
I shouldn't open my mouth.
The 2-0 pitch.
You are married to the librarian, right?
Yeah. Kennedy Thomas with a count of 3-0. Thomas has been the only base runner for Houston. She had a base hit in the first inning with 1 out. Chafin working. And that's a strike. It's 3-1. She's going to have to duplicate it. Thomas is an outstanding hitter. .462 coming into the game.
Started every game last year. I had there's left field, center field, catcher.
She has started every game this year as well.
She's a Cal transfer.
How many positions did you say?
Left field, center field, and catcher. So
that's an unusual combination, isn't it?
Outfield and catch, yeah, I guess.
Newland does it, or can do it, for LSU.
There you go. Make yourself valuable, little girls, when you go to camp. Learn all the positions. You never know which one you're really going to fall in love with and or the coach needs you at.
Well, Thomas opens this third with a walk. These things have a way of coming back and nipping at your heels. This will bring on Bree Cantu. Let's see if she can do. She struck out in the first. Thomas has excellent speed at first base. A poke to right. It's going to carry to Ruderty. She's got it. You know, that's something pitchers love after walking somebody on a full count pitch to get an out on the very next pitch.
Them and the pitching coach.
Here's Michaela Nita, who grounded out to Coffey back in the first inning, and she hit the ball hard. It was a sinking one-hopper in front of Coffey, who gobbled it up and turned it into an out. But that ball was tortured on its way to third base.
Just a freshman, but Kristen Vesley, her coach, says she's mature and has a calm head.
And is batting cleanup as a rookie.
How about that? She'll either hit 4 or 5 hole for the Cougars.
Hitting .379. Steve right. We've got a 1-run ball game brewing in the top of the fourth.
Our score last night was 10-3.
The 1-1.
Which means nothing because today is a different day.
There is not even a whiff of meringue in the sky. The 2-1. Steve right.
Right down Broadway.
Let's see if Thomas is on the move here on the 2-2 count with 1 out. She is not. Swing and a miss.
Good
Chafin comes back to record her 5th strikeout, and that was a really good pitch sequence.
Really good screwball there, right off the plate, just veering off.
Chafin fanned 1 in the first. She struck out the side in the second and gets a 1-out strikeout here in the 4th. This brings on Coleman. The changeup is a strike at the letters.
All region player here. She's versatile. She shortstop, catcher, or third on Oklahoma's team, on a national champion team.
Let's see if anybody can get to this. It's Daniel, the young second baseman, sprinting back to her right and making up a lot of ground as she caught up with that pop-up and turns it into the 3rd out. So a leadoff walk by Thomas does not come back to haunt the Tigers as Chafin. And it's a 1-0 lead for LSU over Houston. Speaking of high-scoring games, Florida today beat Colgate 21-0 and beat Pepsodent as well and Crest 21-0. Ole Miss was a 10-8 winner over Miami of Ohio. Georgia beat Radford 10-1. Kentucky 6-1 over Monmouth. Florida also shut out Lafayette 8-0, so 29-0. Florida winning those two games combined. And Kentucky.
Strength of schedule, though. Ooh.
Kentucky beat Akron 7-5 before it beat Monmouth 6-1. And lots of other games in progress right now.
A lot of pop-ups on the left side, weak pop-ups from the Tigers right now, so she's doing a good job in the circle.
South Alabama has defeated South Carolina. That's a good win.
Yeah.
For South Alabama, 5-2. And Auburn was defeated by Northern Iowa 4-2.
It's a bad loss.
Newland fouls it away again. And we'll get you caught up with all the night's action later. It's about 144 games today in the SEC.
It's crazy, huh? 144. And then when you add two more teams next
actually,
year,
just 24.
Oh.
I misread the number.
It's like, how is that possible?
Yeah, just 24. The 1-2 pitch to Newland. Backs her away. Rudity and Carson will follow. Smith snares it.
Good stab.
One out on the comebacker.
Tiger bats are a little slow to wake up today.
Only 3 hits in this game, 2 of them, and they came back to back to open the second inning. The doubles by Gutierrez and Newland. And that's been it offensively for both teams.
And Tigers had chances early to kind of blow it open, but to Houston's credit, they've silenced them.
Well, they went on to load the bases after those back-to-back doubles, but couldn't do anything with it. Rudity fouled out to the third baseman last time. She's on a 6-game winning streak, which is the current longest of the season for LSU.
Well, this Tiger team has, we keep saying, laden with seniors, so they exude confidence. They know they can come back. They've been doing it all season. They're unbeaten up until this point. That was a shot.
This is hit deep. Let's see if it carries. It goes to the warning track, bounces against the wall, and Rudity on an opposite field double extends her hitting streak to 7 games. That's her 4th double of the year. More importantly, she puts herself in scoring position.
Well, what you really got to like about all these lefties in the lineup, look how, often they go oppo, and the distance that they can hit a ball oppo.
That ball was hit about 210 feet from the plate. It bounced off the warning track against the wall.
I thought for a second it was going out.
Here's Carson. She was robbed of a base hit on a splendid play by second baseman Lair Butte last time. So Rudity is 2 bases away. 1-0 on Carson. Popped up.
They're getting fisted a lot.
Butte squeezes it as she comes toward the circle. And there's the all-important second out.
Tigers not getting the barrel of their bat. They're not squaring up. They're getting fisted, but let's give the pitcher compliments for that. Kudos to her for making some good pitches.
Here's Macy Bergeron, who walked last time. Daniel would be next. There are 2 outs. Steve, rank 1. Bergeron entered the game with a 176 average. She is making her 8th start. She's done a bit better with runners in scoring position. She's hitting .286 in situations like these.
Well, she started off a little bit better than she did last year, but kind of in a little bit of a funk now.
One ball, 2 strikes. Bergeron was not tempted by that pitch, which was elevated.
It started out of the zone, so easy for the hitters to stay off of those rise balls when they start out of the zone.
Bergeron hits a soft liner to the third baseman. She's got it, and that retires the side. Rollin makes the catch at third base. The 1-out double by Ruderty does not affect. 1 run, 3 hits for LSU. No runs, 1 hit for Houston. Shelby Smith will hit. And that one catches a piece of the outside corner by Chafin. Chafin has been very, very good. She has not walked a batter. She has struck out 5. She has surrendered only 1 base hit, and that came back in the first inning.
Like so many pitchers this year, though, they kind of fall into I don't know if it's lack of focus or if it's, adjustments in the other dugout. They kind of get into this 1 inning where they get hit, and that's exactly what happened to her last night.
So far, she's avoided that as she's working in the 5th.
Let's see if she can finish.
That one's a bit wide. 2 balls and a strike on Smith with Rollin and Essman to follow. Smith struck out in the 2nd inning. One of 5 strikeout victims from Chafin. The pitch. She misses wide again, so that's 3.
Nope, he called it a strike.
All right, so she needed that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That got a piece of the outside corner.
He's really delayed.
Here's the 2-2. That came in on the fist. That pitch got away from Chafin. And she was fortunate that it actually hit the bat.
That was a defensive swing. She was about to get that ball in her face mask.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Now it's 3-2. The only base runner for Houston has been Kennedy Thomas twice. A 1-out base hit in the first inning and a walk to lead things off in the 4th. Ground ball, Coffey moves to her left, straightens and fires right into the mid of Gutierrez, 1 gone. This game has a pace. It's got excellent pitching. We've seen some terrific defense. And 1-0, LSU is clinging to a tenuous lead in the 5th.
It's one of those games where nothing happens and then bam, excitement in 1 inning.
Here's Rollins. She has struck out and is batting for only the 2nd time. A changeup is lifted to center field. Briggs backs up. She's got it. And the errorless one makes another catch. No problem for her on the routine ball. And we move to 2 outs quickly. Here's Essman. Mandy starting at shortstop tonight. We saw her come off the bench yesterday. She's from Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Oh, you're not she might be, but she does baseball too.
The 1-strike pitch. That one was overthrown, and Chafin pats her chest and says, "That's my fault."
She's right behind the bench. Yep, it's, like I said, 15 minutes.
The 1-1 bounces in. So Chafin has been high and she's been low on the last 2 pitches.
Talked about this earlier. Howard Dobson, who's the hitting coach for LSU, was Kristen Vesley's hitting coach at Oklahoma. Oh, frozen.
She's got a lot of confidence in her off-speed pitch, as does Beth Dorena, who calls the pitches.
Well, that's the key. Got to trust your pitches.
Now the 2-2 with 2 outs and the bases empty. Looped into foul ground and falling safely out of the reach of any fielder. LSU will take on Austin Peay. Those teams meeting for the first time in the tournament. And that game will follow this one about 35 minutes after the conclusion. Again, the 2-2 pitch. Looped out toward second base, and Daniel backs up a little bit and makes the play for the out. A 3-up, 3-down inning. So she has retired 6 in a row after the leadoff walk to Thomas. With Yvette Gerard, I'm Lynn Rollins. And howdy to you, wherever you may be watching.
Where are you, in College Station? You're in Baton Rouge. How you doing, Sha?
Sierra Daniel bunts it in front of the plate. Third baseman can't pick it up. Rollins did everything she could. She was charging, tried to make the barehanded pickup, and that's the only chance she had. And that will undoubtedly be an infield hit.
Got to push that ball down to grab it, but with the speed of Daniel, I don't know if she'd have gotten her.
I don't think so.
Perfect bunt. And as you said, that's the only play barehanded.
So Daniel becomes a base runner. She's been on base twice today at the bottom of the order, once by walk, and that infield bunt. And now it's Coffey who has grounded out and fouled out.
Tigers would like an insurance run for sure.
What happened with the shrimp?
Daniel has base stealing speed.
They don't want him.
She has caught our attention, that's for sure. I think second base is going to be okay after Carly Petty leaves. Another good bunt. Look
That's
at
spinning,
that.
and there is no chance for anybody to pick it up and make a play.
Look at that. A bunting exhibition here.
That ball hit the dirt
And just
spun. And that's another bunt base hit, 2 in a row.
And that's a base hit all day long in the scorebook. Doesn't matter. It doesn't go down as a bunt. It's a base hit.
2 on, nobody out. For Sierra Briggs, the meat and potato part of the order is front and center for LSU, with Briggs and Pleasance and Gutierrez scheduled next. But first we'll have a conference in the circle. And this crowd has come alive after Small Ball has put 2 Tigers aboard. Daniel and Coffey both with bunt base hits. Coffey's bunt actually backed up. It had that little spin and backspin to it.
Smith had thrown well up until this point, and I mean, it's just 2 great bunts. It's not like she's getting shelled.
No, you can't blame it on the pitcher. You just give credit to the hitters.
Absolutely. And this game with base paths at 60 feet.
Well, it has been tighter than the top string on a Texas fiddle to this point, and still is. LSU 1, Houston nothing in the bottom of the 5th. And there is speed and then some on the base paths.
They'll be surprised if there's 3 bunts in a row.
Daniel can motor, and Coffey can too.
And Briggs may be the best bunter on the team.
She has grounded out twice. Ball 1 high. And she was going to test the infield, but let it pass.
Well, she's such a good bunter, and there's times when she can beat out. I mean, everybody in the park knows what she's going to do, and she can still beat it out.
Well, one other thing she does well, she does not often bunt at a pitch that's not a strike.
There's the key. I tell you what, though, if she could show bunt, pull it back, just slap the ball. I mean, there is a couple of Mack truck holes between shortstop and third when she does that. But looky here.
That's a fair ball and turned into an out. Really nicely done by Coleman to Butte, the second baseman covering.
We might have a change now in the circle.
But the sacrifice shoves Daniel to third and pushes Coffey to second. And we've seen 3 consecutive examples of small ball to apply pressure.
Okay, I think she just wanted a conversation with Blue. She wasn't making a change. She wanted to get something clarified. I don't know if she said maybe they were out of the box. You know, she's just checking.
Here's Taylor Pleasance. First base is open. Gutierrez is on deck. The team's RBI leader slaps one to first base. We're going to have a play at the plate, and it's
dropped.
Ball is dropped.
Did she touch home plate? I guess she did. That was a heck of a play, and then just dropped the ball at the plate.
Coleman could not hold on.
Was that a squeeze?
No. Full swing by Pleasance.
She wanted to ask for a review, but I don't think she knows the ball was dropped. I mean, there's no review. She dropped the ball.
It's a good throw from the first baseman. There's the tag.
Oh, she might be saying, did she hold it long enough? But I don't think so.
There's the tag before Daniel gets to the plate.
Now, the other thing she could be asking, and I don't.
Well, we're going to have a review of some sort.
Is obstruction reviewable? That might be what she's. See if it works. Safe.
So apparently the public address microphone does not work, but you saw the signal, and the play is ruled safe. It has upheld the original call.
Now, let's see, Beth. Yes, she's gonna have a runner for Pleasance.
That's probably going to be Giglio. Is it?
You are correct, sir. I think so.
Okay, we will straighten out the scoring in a moment. It will be an RBI for Pleasance and a fielder's choice, I'm presuming. Daniel scores from third. Coffey is perched 60 feet away. Giglio is the pinch runner for Pleasance. And it brings up Gutierrez. Behind Pleasance, Gutierrez has been the best RBI producer. And the pitch. Ball 1. So LSU does tack on another run. And in a game like this, the difference between 1 and 2 is big.
I think Giglio's going on this pitch. Nope.
Gutierrez wanted to cross up the infield.
Was that a squeeze? I was looking at first base.
No, not really. I think she was bunting on her own.
Why? You're hitting the tar out of the ball.
The 1-1 pitch. That's hit sharply off the chest of the second baseman, and there is a play at first, but not in time.
Holy cow.
Oh, Giglio is out.
Yeah, she touched her.
Giglio is out. That's a really well done play by Lair Butte.
And it was very close to being a double play.
Let's take another look here. This bounces up. There's the tag.
Did she tag her? Houston coaches were all coming out saying she's just running away, but there was a tag at second.
Well, what I'm being told, and it makes sense, is that Giglio left the field of play. She really was not tagged. She was ruled safe. But then she thought she was out and got up and ran out of the base path back to the dugout. So adios amigo on that one. And then the throw to first base was not in time on a close play, but a run scores. It's 3-0.
A lot of cascara going on in that play.
Well, they hadn't put the run up on the board. What's going on here? That's a foul ball as Newland punches one out of play on the right side. Coffey scored from third base, and now they put the run on the board. It's a 3-0 game. That's a beautiful pitch.
That inside pitch is kryptonite to those lefties.
And unless you've got 2 strikes, it's best to avoid that pitch. Just let it go and take the strike.
Yep.
Hope to get something better next time.
Tip your cap to the circle and move on.
The 1-2. High and tight. So the Tigers were looking for some insurance, and they have collected it here in the 5th inning. 3-0 LSU. Gutierrez is at first base. And Newland makes a bid for another base hit. It rolls to the wall. Gutierrez rounds third. Here's the relay throw. No, it's put in the pocket, and LSU adds another one. A double, which scores a run by Allie Newland. It's her second RBI double of the game. And the Tigers have a comfortable lead now. Certainly so compared to what it was just a few moments ago.
Once again, the lefties going oppo. And not only can the Tiger hitters do a great job with their sticks, they can run.
So a big day for Newland, a pair of RBI doubles. And here is Ruderty. And LSU, after laboring with a 1-0 lead through 4.5 innings, now leads 4-0.
Putting up some crooked numbers this inning.
This is kind of similar to what LSU did to Houston last night.
That's correct.
With some big innings in the back half of the game.
Game was really close, and then the Tigers pulled away.
Two outs, 3 runs home. A bunt base hit by Daniel, a bunt base hit by Coffey, a sacrifice, a fielder's choice, and an RBI. And then a run-scoring double by Newland. And the 1-1. That floats, it misses. Ruderty is 1 for 2 with a double. That is down on the warning track. It bounces against the wall. Ruderty pulls into second base with an RBI double. She's had doubles her last 2 at bats, and she's got 5 on the season.
A North Carolina native on fire right now.
It has been a doubles attack here in this inning. Newland and Ruderty with back-to-back RBI doubles. And the Tigers have 4 in the 5th.
I'm not sure. The Tigers have seen 3 of the 4 pitchers, I think, for Houston.
Here's Hannah Carson, the 8th hitter to come to the plate in this 5th frame. There's a strike. Carson is 0 for 2. Second baseman Butte took a base hit away from her in the first, and she popped up later, and this time pops up to the shortstop. LSU, no runs, 1 hit for Houston. You know, Yvette, very quietly, There's a story developing with Raylan Chafin, not only with a shutout here through 5 innings. Daniel fumbles it, gets it to first, not in time. That'll be an error on the young second baseman. So Halsey hitting a ground ball to the right side. It was fumbled, and Daniel had trouble getting it out of her glove.
Let's see, what's Beth Tureen out there asking?
Perhaps a review. Yep.
Yep.
A lot of smiles there between the middle infielders.
Well, I was just about to talk about that they intentionally keep it light. That, us old school people were thinking, what are they laughing about if it's a bad situation? But that's their motto. They're just going to have fun, and they're not going to get too upset about things. And
so this will be an out safe call at first base. The original ruling was out.
And there you have the All-American shortstop telling the freshman second baseman, what are you having for supper tonight?
It'll be a late night supper because LSU will take on Austin Peay 35 minutes after the conclusion of this game.
Let's see what we got here. Is she safe? I guess I should let all the angles play out.
I think the call is going to stand. I think it was a proper call.
Yeah,
it does.
You got 2, you might as well check. I mean, it's the 6th inning.
So that'll be an error on the second baseman. And that is the first bobble of the game for the Tigers. And only the 3rd base runner in the entire game by Houston.
What are we questioning here?
I wish I knew, but I don't.
I'm pretty sure it was something she wasn't pleased with.
Chafin is working on a gym. She has walked 1, struck out 5. She has allowed a single base hit. And only 3 base runners, and the 3rd base runner came on the error by the second baseman. It's been A+ for Chafin so far. The 0-1 pitch to Butte. A changeup. Lifted into the air, and did she make the catch? Allie Newland goes over the wall into the net, makes the catch, and then quickly fires back, but cannot get the runner who tagged to move to second base. But one whale of a play by Allie Newland.
She goes over and gives Pleasance a hug. I had a feeling she was going to catch this ball. She looked like she could track it down, and then watch this throw, this strong throw to second base. Of course, the runner tagged, so she was going to get there.
Allie Newland almost did a somersault into that bullpen, but came out of that net, came over the wall down there with the ball in her glove for the all-important first out of the inning.
Tiger team plays hard.
Here is Kennedy Thomas. Foul ball off to the left side. "5-0 Tigers." We play in the 6th inning, 1 on, in scoring position with 1 out. Chafin has been pounding the strike zone early. Yvette, she has thrown 20 first pitches in this game. 16 of those have been strikes.
That's the key. Work ahead, stay ahead, don't lose your head. Make it hop, make it drop, spin it to win it.
Got anything else?
Nope, that's it for me.
Okay, that's pretty good, though.
I thought so. I mean, it's true.
You could go down to the dugout and probably get a few more poems. And
Oh, they didn't come up with that.
no, that's been around a while. 1-2 pitch off the mark. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Kennedy Thomas. You know, while we have a moment of that, certainly we should recognize the behind-the-scenes people who work so hard. Some volunteers, some not, but they are here just to take care of every bit of business that might come up over the course of 3 days and wall-to-wall softball. And it's a lot more complicated than people think.
And you got wall-to-wall sports going on in this on this campus. You got baseball, you got basketball.
Gymnastics is in play. But there are a lot of folks from the Sports Information Office and the people who keep the official book, the grounds crew.
And this is a long weekend for them because we're just here for the LSU games.
Pleasance comes up firing. Out on a close play. The strong arm of Pleasance results in the out. So here is Bree Cantu, who has struck out and flied to right. And Raylan Chafin now works with 2 outs, a runner at third. Chafin has been brilliant. There has been a shine on her performance so far tonight.
And everybody in that Tiger dugout wants her to be able to finish this game. Unlike baseball, you know, these girls have grown up finishing their own games.
Chafin pitching in her 3rd straight game, her 2nd start during that string.
Chase the rise ball out of the zone.
There's a bad moon rising.
It's going to be full as a, never mind.
Going to be about 2 hours worth full, or that we'll be able to see in a couple of hours. There's a strike.
Usually it kind of rises right over Tiger Stadium for us.
We'll get a shot of it later because we have no clouds as we play in the gloaming here in game 1.
You make me want to go to Ireland every time you say the gloaming.
The 1-2. Line to right, and a running catch is made around the shins by Mackenzie Rudedy. That's her 2nd come to the infield catch, and Chafin rallies. She went the 1st inning in 2/3, and then Shelby Smith came out of the bullpen, and now it's Waiters again. And that's popped up, and that looked like Maddox McKee at the plate on that ball. That was Maddox McKee pinch hitting, and she pops it up.
She got that changeup, first pitch.
So McKee was hitting for Bergeron, and now it is Daniel at the plate. And like last night, she has contributed. She has walked, and she has a bunt base hit, and she scored the 2nd run of the game for the Tigers and the 1st run in that 4-run uprising in the 5th. 5-0 LSU on 7 hits. Houston no runs on 1 hit. 1 second baseman tosses out the other, and 2 quick outs. That was Butte throwing out Daniel. Now it's Coffey with 2 gone. She had a single in that decisive 5th inning as she got a bunt down behind Daniel's bunt, and both of them were safe. So Coffey is 1 for 3. And that bunt base hit moved her hitting streak to 6 games.
As you said, Waiters has gotten 2 quick outs. Houston plays again tomorrow, right? There's a game tomorrow that LSU is not involved in this tournament.
It's Houston and Austin Peay tomorrow, and that'll wrap it up.
And again, when you talk about all the people that volunteer or behind the scenes, those people have to come here tomorrow, and LSU's not even involved.
Yeah, it's a working day for everybody involved in the tournament, even though the home team is not playing. And visiting teams will tell you they really appreciate the hospitality and all of the accommodations which are made. Coffee is aboard for the second time. Here's Briggs, who's looking for her first base hit. She had a sacrifice bunt following the bunt base hits by Daniel and Coffee last inning. Before that, a couple of ground outs. 2 outs, Coffee at first. It would not surprise me to see Coffee on the move. Although with a 5-run lead, the Tigers might not choose to go that way. Briggs crouches at the plate and waits for the pitch. The 1-0 on its way. 2-0. LSU and Austin Peay at the conclusion of this one, about 35 minutes following the end of this game. And yes, we'll have it for you here on the SEC ESPN network and produced by our wonderful LSU staff. The pitch floats in for a strike. That changeup of that, the one by Waiters, almost looks like it's on a string, a yo-yo. Kind of spins at the bottom of the descent and then suddenly rises. That doesn't mean she throws strikes with it every time, but it's got an unusual motion, doesn't it?
Yep.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. LSU looking to remain perfect on the season. We play in the 6th. The pitch downstairs and a throw back to first, not in time. Coffee was not napping.
Good tag by Cantu over there. Down quick, right on the hands. But Coffee was safe. Got back quickly.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. The runner will be moving. Ground ball left side. Shortstop charges, shifts and throws. Out at first, and we are done in the 6th inning. LSU will carry a 5-0 lead over Houston into the 7th. Strikeouts. She has made some big pitches, and this is against a team that has 5 400 hitters and only 1 non-300 hitter in the lineup.
She's been very good, as you said. She's had her moments of glory, hadn't pitched a lot. She's making her push here for getting more playing time this year.
Zaquala Dumas is pinch hitting. Dumas is trying to break through for Houston and get something started in the 7th. The Tigers lead 5-0. LSU shut out the first 5 opponents of the season. They have not recorded one since February 10th against Memphis.
It'd been hard to shut out people in the tournament in Florida.
This would be shutout number 6 if it holds against a very good Houston hitting team. 3 balls and a strike. Chafin has 5 runs with which to work, and there's a strike in the lower part of the zone.
First goal, get the first out of the inning.
Boy, it makes things
Always.
easier when that
Always.
occurs, doesn't it?
Always. The pitcher has that goal.
The 3-2 pitch to the pinch hitter, Dumas. Lined into right center field. That's down for a clean base hit. It's cut off just in front of the warning track by Briggs. And Dumas comes off the bench and does something that only one other teammate has been able to do tonight. So that's the second hit of the game.
And usually, that's not that easy to do. Come off the bench cold. No question about that.
And Dumas will leave after the base hit. And
Chafin got
Repa is the pinch runner at first.
Chafin got herself into a little trouble there. Had to work from behind. Something probably leaked over the plate on that pitch.
So it's Repa, R-E-P-A, running at first. Coleman is first pitch swinging and sends it out of play.
Yeah.
LSU is looking to remain unbeaten after 12 games. The Tigers are 11-0. Houston is 11-3. Two of those defeats suffered in this tournament. Ball one, strike one. Coleman has struck out and popped up to Daniel at second base. Daniel is backpedaling, and she's there.
A lot of weak-fisted hit balls on both sides. Good pitches being made right on their hands.
One out, one on. LSU won't be concerned with the base runner. Shelby Smith has struck out and grounded out to Coffey at third. The pitch. Smash to Coffey again.
Will it
There
be?
is one at second base, but the relay is a little high, and it pulled Raylan Gutierrez off the bag. Gutierrez did an excellent job of just keeping that ball from rolling behind her.
Yes, she did. Prototypical first baseman, tall and lefty. That ball kind of just sailed on Daniel.
It was a perfect relay from
Yep.
Coffey to Daniel.
And a hard hit ball. It had a chance to be to turn it.
Indeed it did. Daniel's turn, her pivot at second base, did not result in an accurate throw.
Yeah, I think she just didn't get a good grip of it. Looked like she palmed that ball.
But it's 2 outs with a runner at first. And Jasmine Rollin will be at the plate. She came in with a .405 average. She has struck out and fly to center. 2 strikes. Chafin, 1 pitch away from a 2-hit shutout.
And the crowd will stand and do their clapping to get that last out.
They are sending encouragement to Chafin.
And a good crowd it is.
They are standing all around the ballpark. The 0-2 pitch. Poked foul off the end of the bat. 5 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for LSU. No runs, only 2 hits, and no errors for Houston. Chafin trying to polish the gem. Change up, chopped up the middle. Daniels got it, steps on the bag, and this game is over. Raylan Chafin throws a brilliant ball game.
She did. She was in complete control. Happy for her that she could finish the game.